Well, well, well. After all the hype and the rumors, we finally meet. You know, I have to be honest, I never thought that you were actually going to exist. Physically, that is. Now it's time to see if all the hype and the rumors are true. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I'm actually going to be reviewing the live-action Disney adaptation of Mulan, which was finally released on physical home media, which a short time ago, if you recall, it actually got an early release and stream on Disney Plus for $30 a piece. As a matter of fact, I bought that movie for about $20-something, about $6 less after taxes and everything were done. And I got a Blu-ray, DVD, and a digital copy. So suck it, Disney. But let's get to the point of this video, which is, was Mulan, the live-action version, actually a good movie? And guys, I might touch on some spoilers, so before I get into my opinion on the film, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Come back, tell me what you think about it, or if you just don't give a shit, let's just jump into my thoughts on the Mulan film. The Mulan film is actually a take off of the animated film done many years ago by Disney, which was originally animated and starred Ming-Na Wen as Mulan. Basically, the story is still the same there. She actually takes the place of her father, pretends to be a boy, and actually joins the Imperial Army. And essentially, you know, that's still the structure right there. She has to save China and make sure that she protects from like the evil, people that are trying to take down the emperor and kill him and all that other stuff. Now, the fundamental difference between that and this is that in this they made her supernatural. They made her freaking have superpowers, have chi, the powers of being able to fight and the instinct, whatever you want to call it, and everything like that. Whereas in the original film, the animated one, she was just a typical everyday girl, but through the course of being trained in the regiments and everything like that, and using her mind and her smarts and her gifted abilities, like natural abilities that is, she actually persevered and was able to save China as a whole that way. The major difference is that, if I want to say this, the animated one felt a little bit more realistic, yet it still had fantastical elements such as a talking dragon named Mushu and a companion cricket. They do away with a lot of those kind of quirky, silly, humorous things. They don't have any songs, which I love how Disney likes to play and pick and choose which ones they're going to have songs as far as live adaptations and which ones they're not. I wonder what the determining factor is. I mean, did they just flip a coin, or is it whoever's directing? But I digress. So, typically, when I'm talking about all the Disney live-action films, for me personally, I really haven't been enjoying them. The one that came closest to me was Aladdin, but Aladdin's problem was that it just didn't know when to stop with the awkward singing numbers. Now, as far as Mulan goes, if you're not really digging what Disney is doing with their live-action adaptations, then this is probably going to be no different for you. But I found myself really enjoying the film because it wasn't so much a adaptation of a Disney movie, but it came off more of an ode and a kind of tribute to old Chinese martial arts action cinema. The direction, the visuals, the cinematography, the stunts, and the action, all that stuff looked beautifully, and the aesthetics in this film are really the superior part of it. It does add some cool little elements there. There's a kind of a foil for Mulan in the form of a witch who actually helps the antagonists in this story. It's almost like they're two sides of the same coin because they have special abilities where you can almost see Mulan going into the shoes of the witch, depending on how her life might play out, as it were. And then you actually have a nice, well-rounded cast in here, especially one of my favorites, Jason Scott Lee, who actually was in one of the original live-action adaptations of a Disney movie in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book adaptation, which was directed by Stephen Sommers and is one of my all-time favorites. And also, he was Bruce Lee in the Dragon Bruce Lee story, and I think he's just an awesome guy and can do some pretty cool action, as it were. And in this, he's very much an awesome villain. And overall, I was very surprised at how much I really enjoyed this film, to the point where I actually feel a little sad that it was not able to be released in theaters, because I think that this film would have done a bang-up job at the box office and been hugely successful. That being said, there are a lot of moments where, again, the humor doesn't hit. They pick and choose a lot of the different things that they adapted from the film. Some work, some don't. And personally, there's a lot of bad dubbing going on in here, and I don't know if it's the actual stars themselves doing the bad dubbing, or if it's some ADR that people had to come in because of the pandemic and kind of reenact or redo some dialogue, as it were. One thing I will note about this film is that, parts of the animated film took place on the Great Wall, and there's no Great Wall at all inside of this film, which I thought was very interesting. I wonder why they didn't include the Great Wall of China. I mean, that was just a little awkward thing that they didn't translate. So overall, guys, I give Mulan, the live-action film, surprisingly for me, 3.5 out of 5 stars because it was really good. Like I said, some bad dubbing, some awkward placements of humor, and adapting the original animated kind of story elements, or lack thereof. But the new additions to the story, the way that they treated the material, the way that they ended up making it more of an action epic in the style of old Hong Kong Chinese action films, and the way that the cast presented themselves and everything like that, definitely raises the quality of this live action film and story up for me personally, and I highly recommend buying it, especially if you're a Disney fanatic. But anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today. As always, if you dug the video, thank you so much for watching it. Like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. And overall, guys, as always, I'm Jay, and until next time, take care. Bye.